Warning. A very good friend of mine told me something the other day. I'd like to pass it on to you because I believe that what he said to be true. He said, we're here for a good time, not a long time, so have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. If you do not find this video entertaining, then you are taking life way too seriously. If you have a complaint about any episode, please book an appointment with the therapist. Cheers, dudes.
That's Dude.
That's Dude.
And welcome to Lazyboys Night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, bad
Are you
head.
doing that?
No, I've got good head.
Oh,
Name
name
of
of
my
our
sex
sex tape. Oh.
Don't say our sex tape, that sounds wrong. It's not our sex tape. He's got his own, I've got my own.
We're sharing our sex tape.
No! I want to gouge my eyes out.
Share.
Don't touch me.
Sharing is caring.
No! Not when it comes
So
to
when
sex
you
tapes.
share, do this thing that he has between his legs. I want
Subscribe.
Yes, I want them to subscribe now.
Subscribe.
Subscribe now.
And then like and share over there.
Share, you know,
The
when you're
thing
done
between my
subscribing.
legs.
Do the thing between his leg and then come over here and do the thing between my legs.
How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing? What are we drinking?
I don't know. What are we drinking?
This is the Flash Series Take Off Eh IPA
no way.
from Beyond the Pale.
No way.
It's like the decor. It's like Destiny.
It's
Take
all
Off
Destiny or is it a Dudestiny?
Dude, did you plan this? Oh.
Not even say anything. Maybe.
All right. Well, I look forward to trying this.
Maybe.
It feels very Canadiana. All right.
Mine looks like ice cream.
It does. Ready?
I know what's going to happen. I'm going to scream. Then you're going to scream.
No, we're not going to. No, don't go there.
We're all going to scream.
For beer.
For beer.
There you go.
Okay.
Cheers.
See, watch it. This is awesome. You'll love it.
Two guys talking, saying anything, nothing new to say, talking anyway. Start yammering, can't hear a thing, nothing I can do. So let's have one more brew. One more brew. Let's have one more brew. One more brew. Stop talking, try listening, try anything, try whistling. There you go again, saying anything, nothing I can do. So let's have one more brew. One more brew. Let's have one more brew. One more brew.
All right.
It doesn't even smell anything.
Oh. The foam is very
Foamy?
foamy. I almost feel like it's a milkshake.
That's a technical term.
I feel like
folks.
I might have a little foam mustache.
If you're not
this
aware.
is nice.
When something starts foaming,
It's
becomes
foamy.
Foamy.
This is nice.
It is very nice.
It's light. It's aromatic. It's kind of clear.
Holy
I've seen some IPAs that are,
super clear.
but no, this is I like it. There's a little je ne sais quoi to it.
I like a lot.
I like it a lot. Yes. So Beyond the Pale,
Ice cream.
Take Off Eh. It's a beauty.
Beauty job.
It's a beauty.
It's beauty.
It's a beauty.
Good job, hosers.
All right.
So, just so you know, it's not that much of a coincidence that we happen to have these specific beers tonight. Tonight being the festival of the 24, which means we're the 24th of August.
It's the 2-4. Yes.
So it's a celebration of the 2-4.
Oh.
And on this very particular celebration of the 2-4, I was having a conversation with Dude in regards to the taping for this week on this fine Therapy Thursday. No. What's going I see Dude throwing, this is throwing me off. Stop swinging shit.
Dude,
Okay.
anticipating something here.
There's something going on, and it's driving me. Okay, so I'm almost afraid. So having a conversation with Dude
Yeah. We
about
can't see your face.
the
Put
fact.
your hands in.
Okay, no, but Dude swinging stuff. So he's never. Usually he's way.
Stop
farther.
swinging.
Stop swinging. Okay, so Usually, he doesn't swing stuff.
I know.
He's very
He's not
passive.
a swinger.
He nods. Sometimes we have like the notepad where we can't read what he's saying on the notepad. Anyways,
Bad
regardless, thank you, dude. But we were having a conversation because the 2-4 Thursday, Therapy Thursday, is specific this year in the sense that it's the 24th of August, 2023, and 2 days from there, on the 2 days from now, on the 26th, is the 40th anniversary of Bob and Doug McKenzie, Strange Brew, or The Adventures of, and now I know why he set it up. So,
Classic movie.
dude, when we had this conversation and we came into the Dude Den studio today, had set everything up so it is the Bob and Doug Festival of Lights for the 40th anniversary of the film coming out. He got us the proper beers, but I think he's gonna chuck something.
He's not
at
gonna
us.
chuck something hard, is he?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm fine. You can throw it now.
Oh, it's another T-shirt of mystery.
Got a wonderful T-shirt of mystery. Are we showing it?
Oh,
that's awesome.
I got me the Elsinore beer label that they drink for the Oktoberfest. Oh, from the Elsinore Brewery.
Dude.
Right here in the poster. Oh, and you actually got Bob and Doug. All right, dude, I think we need to...
yeah, we need to do this proper.
Do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready for... Ta-da!
Oh, I feel so
awesome.
very official right now.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Nice.
That's
Wait, this
freaking-
deserves one of these.
Cheers,
Okay. So if we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the movie, now I do need to point out we did a retro episode a long time ago. Have you seen Strange Brew?
There it is.
There it is. You go see it. All right. But we got to talk about this. We got to celebrate.
That's a huge thing. Is they had come out with the 2-4 anniversary, which of course we remember the 2-4 anniversary. Yes, because we are that old, folks. But whatever. It's I can't believe that it hit 40 years. To me, that's huge. Like just having that conversation with dude regarding that. We're talking about 40 years ago.
I'm feeling a little old now.
But the thing is it's still alive and well today.
It is.
It's if there's anything.
And so are Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis. Yay!
Yay! So for me, it had a massive impact, and it still has an impact today. If you just look at our show, the setup that we have.
Yeah. So add back bacon and a map of Canada behind us, and you can see the similarities.
There's definitely influence, and if you're talking about how far back this thing goes, it's been in our conscious mind.
Even more than 40 years, because it started on SCTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was Second City Television,
Yeah.
filmed in Toronto. It starred the greats like John Candy, Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas,
Yeah, of course.
and a few others that escape me right now. But I remember watching the documentary, the 2-4 documentary. The Canadian Broadcasting...
the CBC.
Well, no, not the CBC, but there's a governing body.
Yeah.
The CRTC?
CRTC.
The CRTC. The dude will write what that means. The CRTC basically had to specify that back then Canadian television couldn't really compete with American television because we didn't have the budget, but they required so much Canadian content on a show to help promote Canadian culture.
Yeah.
And the guys at SCTV, while filming in Toronto, was pretty much an American-style show.
Yeah.
And when they were told they needed Canadian content, well, Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis got a little fed up with that. So they said, you want Canadian? Fine. So they decided to play every stereotype there was. They put on their winter coats and their toques. They slapped the map of Canada, threw some cases of beer, got some back bacon, and I think it was originally called Canadian Corner or something like that.
I don't know if there was a different title to it.
You had the Great White North map in the back,
Yeah.
but the segment the first time had a different name or something like that. And
But it was 2 minutes.
It was 2 minutes.
That to fall into regulation, they only
Yeah.
needed that 2
and
minutes.
they just talked about stereotypical Canadian
So
stuff.
they literally had back bacon cooking on
Yeah.
hibachi, whatever, on stovetop. Their feet up on the table,
Yeah.
having a smoke, and just running that time and just talking about
And people
anything and everything.
instantly fell in love with the characters,
Yeah.
and there was a huge demand for it, and they became the two most popular character sketch thing. Like Saturday Night Live's put out tons through the years, most
Yeah.
crap, some good, like Wayne's World, great, some others like ugh. But this was SCTV's greatest hit, and it got so popular they put out the album, which
Yeah,
is
the first
right
thing
there
was
as
the
well.
album.
A few years later, and then
And
the
we had
album,
an episode on that too.
The trivia
we had
on
a
that.
trivia episode. We were talking about it. Just go check it out again.
and it was so successful. And people in the States were, when the album was
Yeah.
released, were lined up for blocks waiting for the record store to open to get this thing. It became such a cultural phenomenon.
They went on
They're like,
David Letterman.
They did. It was so huge. So they had the next step, of course, was the movie.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen this movie, watch Have You Seen so you can get some highlights, but go actually see this movie. What I love about this movie is, for the day, they really took the absurd comedy route. There's a plot. There's a story. It's a ridiculous story.
No, it's not that ridiculous. Come on.
Mind control through a beer.
Here. That
Uh,
happens every day in
It
Canada,
does.
eh?
But they incorporated so much of the absurdities in there at the same time. It was unexpected. It was ridiculous. It was hilarious. What's your favorite moment of this movie? Something that pops out, like absurd moment.
No, absurd moment. Oh my God, there's so many. For me, right as soon as the movie started, and this is what I thought was awesome, is the fact that they take into consideration, and it was like the fact that Bob and Doug McKenzie actually do have a show
Yeah, it's
in
like
this movie.
like Wayne's World. They have their own little show
Yeah.
and then live out there. So the Bob and
So-
Doug, they acknowledge their little sketch.
So they
comedy.
have in the movie. It starts off. They are Bob and Doug that we already know. They don't even have to establish anything.
No.
And they already have their album out.
Yeah.
Because in the fans, when they're in the theater watching. It's super weird because when it starts off, please go watch it. Because you're in a movie theater watching a movie of them in a theater watching themselves.
It's very meta.
Very, very, for that time, holy freak. But right out of the gate, as soon as they start out that way, and they're going, I'm watching Bob and Doug McKenzie that I know from TV and from the album in this movie, but in the movie, they're in the theater watching a movie of them because they are Bob and Doug McKenzie, and you're watching Bob and Doug. It's just that insanity. That for me, it sold it right away. And then they get so pissed, like the people are not happy because the movie they're showing is horrible. It's
The van with the cheap rockets taped on,
And the aliens.
and Doug with the jock strap.
but it's like they're doing like Toronto and
Take Off
like
Eh-
whatever
it's
year.
so-
What
it's
year was that?
So bad, it was funny.
But there's whatever year they're doing that movie in the movie about, and
Oh, the
people are not
future,
happy.
yeah.
So, anyways, I'm not spoiler. Go watch it. But there's people that are not very happy about the fact that they're just rehashing stuff that they've already done. So they try to get out of.
They
they're
poke
actually-
fun of themselves, pretty much.
So they get out of the movie theater and they leave.
They've been saving their allowance for weeks to see this movie. What am I supposed to tell them? Just what the heck am I supposed to tell them?
We're real sorry. Here's some money back, eh? It's only $15. Take it. It's yours.
Take off. That's Dad's beer money, eh?
Hey, look! They're giving refunds in the alley! Get 'em!
And they're driving downtown Toronto because there's huge. The cops are there and everything. There's something really, because it's the premiere of their own movie in their movie. But when they get home, you realize that they're just two dudes living with their parents still, and they have like.
It's a little rundown house, and the parents are like.
But then,
crusty and
from that moment, it's not Bob and Doug from the show. It's not Bob and Doug from the album.
It's Bob and Doug
their
behind the
lives.
scenes.
Yeah,
their
so
lives.
it's their lives, and you're going, oh.
But it's still absurd. You've got the
absurdity
flying
is just
dog.
non-stop.
You've got one of my favorite absurdity moments is when they're trapped in the beer vat. And the only way to survive is to drink all the beer. I'm not going to spoil the rest.
No,
but when
there's
you
something
see,
that happens right before he has to drink all the beer.
oh
But
yeah,
anyways,
we're not going to spoil it, but very very
but
funny moment.
It's just, and it was actually
the car crash. You're just remembering that now, huh?
So the movie was actually written by them.
Yeah.
So everything about it is 100% Bob and Doug, and it's Bob and Doug going, okay, we got the budget to do a movie.
Let's take it to the next level.
What are we? And when you think it's okay, this is the pacing, it's going this way. They add this absurdity.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going.
You think they're gonna zig, they're gonna zag, and you're like, seriously? Nowadays, we're used to seeing a lot of movies that have, because the absurd genre has been around for a while. But back
not
then,
to that extent.
you'd had a few.
Man.
You'd had like the airplane movies did a couple of.
Yeah, but they were the first ones. Like you were talking, referencing Wayne's World.
Yeah.
But they were the first ones that had a sketch comedy.
Wayne's World, I'm sure, had a big, was greatly influenced by it. Oh, yeah.
Mike Myers, of course, he was super influenced by
I'm
it.
sure. Yeah.
But think about it, how you take, because everything that's Saturday Night Live, you had people from SCTV, and even Lorne Michaels was involved.
Michaels is Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was involved in SCTV as well. So all of these people were still, involved in each other's creative lives and personal lives and everything else. But it was the first time that you had a comedy based on a freaking 2-minute sketch.
They were pioneers.
Album, and just how they took it and what they did, whatever they wanted with it. But it's like this boom, 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 pow, boom, 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 pow. Throughout the movie, it's like non-stop jokes. And they took it to a whole new level.
These guys were a new breed for the era of comic genius.
Yeah.
And I don't usually give the word genius out, but I seriously think these guys created something phenomenal. They're still around today, although Rick Moranis retired a long time ago because he chose at one point to spend family time, raise his kids.
Yeah.
And
I
respect that.
Hollywood and everything, and just do a regular
Dave Thomas still did some acting, and now they're pretty old, but nonetheless.
No, he didn't say that. That's not true.
No.
Rick, Dave,
it doesn't matter.
It's not true.
You may be physically old, but you are still young at heart, and you are still an inspiration to generations everywhere.
You know,
I think
you're talking about generations, and the first thing that jumped into my head was the movie from Disney, Brother Bear, where they play the two
moose. Yeah.
Was it?
One was
Tuque and
I forget their names, but yeah, the two moose at one point that are in the river stream.
100% Bob and Doug.
Totally Bob and Doug.
Just changed their names, and obviously
I think that was
animated.
one of the last things Rick Moranis did before he retired.
You think so? But that, and specifically in the script, they're referred to as the Canadian Moose.
Yeah.
So they're not pretend. It's 100%. It's Bob and Doug.
It's Bob and Doug. It's not Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas. It's Bob and Doug as Moose.
Dude, can you put down their names, please?
Yeah.
I can't remember the other name, but I know Tuque just stuck in my head. Oh, obviously.
Tuque on your head.
Tuque. It's stuck on my head and in my head.
There you go.
But yeah, no, they had a huge influence on comedy overall, on how comedy is done. And you look at Mike Myers, right? You look at a lot of his movies too.
Yeah.
That type of humor and the play on words and situations were just. I'm just thinking when they were in court. Okay, you were talking about. Sorry, folks, this is just coming out now. It's a flash when they're in court, and then I think it's Doug is bleeding from his nose. I should know this. I've seen the movie so freaking many times. But he asked for. There's I guess it's the court security or cops or whatever, and he puts 2 bullets into his nose to stop the bleeding, and then Bob keeps making him laugh, and he just shoots the 2 bullets out of his nose. I know. Even when they're trying, they're in the institution and they're playing around with shock therapy. It's just
my turn. So one thing I want to point out is
Oh my God.
these guys did not invent the comedy duo. Comedy
no.
duos have been around. Like you got your Abbott and Costello, Lauren and Hardy, all be great. But typically the old formula was always the straight man and the bumbler. When these guys came out, there was no straight man.
No,
they're two idiots.
And they're two brothers, too.
They're
That
two
was different.
brothers. They're two idiots. And I say idiot as in lovable idiots.
Yeah.
But they're both the bumbler style. They're not that smart. They're clumsy. They get
But
each
even the one
other's
that's
way.
supposed to be smart,
Not.
not so much.
No, not so much. They think they are, but they're not. So they kind of reformulated the classic
Yeah.
stereotype into something new, and it was just it took off.
Took off, eh?
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Anyways,
Take off. It's a beauty way to go, folks.
Rick
Take
Moranis,
off.
Dick Thomas, thank you for 40 years and 40 plus years, really.
Yeah, no kidding.
40 plus
Thank
years
you.
of laughs.
Cheers to you and for giving, you know what, honestly, you do have, or you've had, and you are showing it today through us, that you've had an influence and impact on our lives. And that laughter and the wanting to just enjoy life and the absurdity of life as well, we recognize that highly. So to you, we're going to do a proper kulukuku. Cheers
Take
to
off,
you.
eh?
Take off. See you next time.